welcome back to another episode of
Let's Get Spooky.
Why are you laughing at me?
No, I flew into the mic to mess with the Dark Lord.
Dark Lord does not approve.
I was like, oop, we're starting the show.
We are starting.
Sorry.
So we're talking about cruise ship deaths, which we briefly talked about in our
In
hotel
the Hotel Hell one,
episode.
because this is a topic that I look up a lot, and I brought up, not a lot.
It's a casual reading endeavor.
It's just
at
something
night
that I
for
feel
you.
like always pops up in, like, I don't know, places online and stuff. But there's also, I talked about cruiseshipdeaths.com, which during my research, I found another website which is just dedicated to like cruise ship deaths and like people going missing and overboards and crime and all this weird stuff called cruise-brews.com.
I was going to say cruising for a bruising would be
Cruise
my name.
Brews.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But it's encompassing more than just deaths. It's like all of
Yeah,
the bad things that
it's
happen, which is
basically everything
surprisingly
There's a lot of fucked
That's a
up
lot.
shit that goes on. Even not even deaths. It's just like sweep under the rug. Nasty.
Let's not talk about
nasty
it.
business.
So before we get into all of the crazy stuff, who is down for a cruise?
That would not
Well,
be.
so-
For those of us not looking at a screen and watching on Spotify, AJ's the only one who wants to.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
do it.
sorry.
Raise her
I
hand,
raised-
sorry.
Yeah. AJ raises hand. Ashley
says, "Hell
Leanna
no."
doesn't.
So before I even, I guess, delved into all of the bad things that happen on cruises, I am a little bit not afraid of the ocean. I'm intimidated by the ocean, as I feel most people should be, because it's a earthly wonder. But it scares me a little bit. And then the fact of being trapped on a thing in the middle of the ocean
With
is
people.
With a ton of people, because if something goes wrong and everyone kind of like riots, like, can you imagine? Like,
Cruise ship
I've
riot.
been like, a
Yeah,
cruise
if there
ship
was like a
riot,
strike, it's like
Yeah.
plot twist. Everyone's going against the buffet today, and we're all gonna pick it. And it's like, what? No.
yeah, there's too many things that are on my
out of your control.
on my con list, and my pro list
Yeah.
is very like, it's like this, and then the con list is like very large.
I don't like the idea of it being a hotel that moves. Like, for some reason, when I'm in a hotel, I like want it to be stationary. I want to know that I can go to the gas station if I want to get away for a bit.
Right.
There's no fucking gas station. There's like the
Nope.
bar that everyone goes to. There's probably a ball pit, and there's like a fucking jacked up basement and a deck.
and it goes like this.
Yeah, fuck that
And
shit.
I get motion sickness, and most
I
people
can't
say
swim. I'd be
that's
fucked.
definitely not a good thing
Yeah,
to
you
not
have
be
to
able
be
to
able
do.
to swim.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even know how to use a dinghy, so I would be fucked.
So if anything, we're never going on a cruise, so all of the tidbits are gonna have to be from your life experiences, because we got
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Well, what's the biggest positive of going on a cruise?
So for me, like, one thing that I really liked about it, so you're in the middle of the ocean and the Wi-Fi is super expensive, so you don't want to pay for it. So I think one thing that I did like about it was you didn't have like your phones. Like, you weren't sitting on your phone all day and like looking at stuff. Like, you were kind of forced to like not go into like those, like, you know, computer or
You're living
your
in the
phone.
moment,
Yeah, you're
and appreciating it.
Yeah, so I feel like it forced me to do that a little bit more. And then the cruise we went on had a theater, so they played movies all day. So like we'd like go see a movie, and then we'd go sit in the spa, and then we would, like, you know, hang out and eat a ton of ice cream. And they had like soft serve. You should just go up and like get your own soft serve. And I'm
The
like,
best
this
thing
is
about
the
a buffet.
greatest thing in the planet.
I
It's
feel
like
like that
being
would
a
be a
big kid.
cesspool for germs. The soft serve, like, ooh.
Yeah, maybe. I'm building up my immunity though, so it's
That's
fine.
true. And also, you don't like do the soft serve and then lick your hand
Well,
after.
some of us
Use
would.
Oh, and then also they did have, they always had someone standing at it with the hand wipies. So
Wipey
you would-
man, that's
you
a
would wipe
job
your
I'd do.
hand, and then you would wipe the knob thing, and then
Oh,
you would
really?
get it.
So they were like,
Yeah,
they're
they were
really thinking
they're
about
proactive
it.
About
That would be
kind
cool
of
to put on
stuff.
your resume.
Before you
like-
went to the buffet, they would either have you wash your hands, like they had hand washing stations outside, so you'd wash your hands right there, or they would hand you the disinfectant, or they wouldn't let you in.
I feel
Oh,
like a
that's
lot
smart.
of men
So
wouldn't
that's
like
nice.
that because they're bad at washing their hands. But
I feel like that's like one of the positive things that I've heard about like
Yeah.
cruise ships.
then
'Cause
why do
most of
people
the time-
get sick and
I
shit?
mean,
everybody's pooping.
I've only been on 2 cruises, and both times I did leave with like a cold of some sort. So I mean, you do still get sick. I mean, you're
trapped in a
you're trapped
moving
in a-
vessel
yeah.
full of people.
So positive, you remove yourself from the world, but you're stuck with people and you shit your pants, you get a cold.
I didn't shit my pants, but
Well,
okay.
But she got a cold. But
I just
most-
imagine
but most
my poor
people
system trying.
shit their pants.
I can
Yeah.
see a lot of people.
What's
yeah.
that buffet, man? It's those fucking salty eggs.
I did. Okay, I don't know why this popped into my head, but quickly, let me just tell you. There was so we were sitting and eating, and like they have soft serve, not soft serve. Oh my god, back to the soft serve. They have
Ice cream on
fountain
the brand.
drinks. So like you go up, and I saw this kid go up, and he got Coke, and he filled it up halfway, and he filled the rest with water.
Ew.
And I was like, "What is?
Why would you
wrong
add water
with
to
you?"
anything?
Why do you drink
Number one.
water?
And then I was like, "What is wrong
I don't like
with this
children.
kid?" I thought he was gonna go through and like how
What
you
do
would
they
put,
call
like,
it when you
every-
eat
He's probably
all of
like, oh,
them?
it's like melted ice. It's the same thing.
No, it's disgusting. What's the thing they called where you
get
all
every
of this?
single
It has
soda.
a name. No, that's an
Hurricane?
alcoholic
Jungle juice?
beverage. No, that's alcohol. There's something you call it. Kids
Isn't
would
it a
do
suicide or something?
Suicide, yeah, and you put all of the
You
the
put
pops.
like every soda in it.
All the pops.
all the
What are you,
pops.
90 years old?
No, I was just
I
trying
put
to be
all
like
my pops in a cup, and I hope I don't have an eye twitch by the end of the night.
the pop.
No.
Yeah, soda pop.
What's a
I
pop?
think
We
I-
called it tonic.
or people call
Soda?
all
You call-
soda
Yeah.
Coke.
That's a New Hampshire thing.
Wait, all
off,
people call soda
Cameron.
Coke?
Some people call all the sodas Coke. So you're like, oh, can I get a Coke? And they're like, okay, well, which one?
My orange Coke.
And a Coca-Cola.
My clear Coke.
That's
Yeah.
dumb.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
stupid.
Putting water in your Coke, dumb. Calling everything Coke,
Dumb.
big dumb.
Also dumb.
Big
You're
dumb.
a big dumb if you do that.
So yeah,
You're
sorry,
making a
that
big
just
dumb
popped
right
into my
there.
head for some reason.
Ew.
Well, also, so one of the things that I love children, I do, but being trapped in a boat, not in a
Yeah.
boat, on a boat with a lot of children, because most
like being on a
cruises,
flight.
most cruises are like family things where where the kids are there, and I feel like you couldn't ever escape.
Well, they have areas that are adults only.
Oh, that's
which are
nice.
nice. They have like a dedicated pool and dedicated spas just for adults. So you're not like in the pool and all of a sudden there's like a bunch of children all around you.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
But then they also have like, or at least the one that I went on had areas where like kids this age to this age can hang out and kids
Oh.
this age and this age to hang out. And then they had like systems set up where like if you and your family are eating dinner, like someone from that club or whatever will come and pick up your kid from when they're done eating so that you could finish your meal with like your husband or
Yeah.
your
And they take
significant
them
other,
to,
like,
alcohol.
and then they take
kitty
them to go hang out
daycare.
and then you can like go and pick them up later when you want to.
I mean, that sounds
So like things like that I feel like are nice.
Yeah, that's convenient. But so I went down the rabbit hole doing some research for this episode, and I found a list of horrific facts about cruise ships. So I already didn't want to go on a cruise, and all of these things made me not want to ever go on a cruise ever in my entire life. And we had talked about even if it was free, and I feel like even if it was free, I would still question like, do I really need to do it? But the one thing that sounds really cool, and I know you mentioned this when you were talking about it, is you stop in places.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily trapped on the boat indefinitely. There's like little ports that you stop in and you can
Yeah.
check out the towns, which sounds very appealing to me.
You do have to plan ahead because so I went on the cruise and then the week before some of my friends and coworkers went on that same cruise, but the cruise that I do like so one week they'll do like east and the other east or I don't know. They'll go one route and then the next week they'll do a different route. So we got the different route.
Oh, so you're not going to the
And
same places.
So you're not going the same exact, they like switch off weeks. So like the people that I knew that went the week before me, they went a different route, but there had been just a really bad storm recently.
Oh.
So like they couldn't do any of the activities.
Oh, bummer.
They couldn't get docked at one of the places, so they were stuck on the boat instead of getting off. So I think it's just like you have to plan ahead and be smart about
And
it.
hope that like weather doesn't ruin your.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like almost like any normal vacation. Like
Yeah,
you're not
things
going to
go
go to
wrong.
certain places during certain times because you know the weather, and you just kind of have to use your head and plan ahead.
Yeah.
Ooh.
like,
Whoa,
use your
rap
head.
song.
Put that on a shirt.
Thinks about a turtle.
So we'll go through the list of horrific facts, and then that'll lead us into our cruise ship horror stories, and we all have some doozies, which will be fun. So very first thing on the list, this one wasn't actually number one, but I put it as number one because I feel like it's the most tragic. Cruise ships sink.
Yeah,
It's not common, but it happens. So as I'm looking up, it shows like these giant, massive cruise ships that are just like halfway in the water.
Bye, guys.
I watched Titanic. I don't
Yeah.
want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to anyone. Another thing is that cruise ships get stranded.
What?
And
Yeah, one of the stories I have, they got stranded.
yeah, so like when that happens, not the electricity, but like the plumbing, they had issues with the plumbing. And can you imagine being stuck in the middle of the ocean? Things aren't working. Like if power goes out, food goes
Kind
bad.
of smell, man.
There's like no food. You can only eat things that are like in packages. Like the story that I had, like they didn't have food. And one of the moms was like, yeah, my daughter had Skittles for breakfast because there's no food.
Oh my God. And
Skittles
you can't,
and
you're
Coke.
like, just Coke,
I'm like,
half
that's
water.
fine. That's what I had for breakfast this morning. So I don't know what she's complaining about.
One thing that I found all of these things fascinating, but there are morgues on board cruise
Yeah,
ships.
I read that
I didn't
too.
realize that.
And
Nice.
Until
people
In body bags.
and body
Yeah,
bags.
they're required to have body bags and a morgue.
Yep.
So this one person that was a previous employee of a cruise ship, they didn't state what cruise ship or company, doesn't really matter, but he said that they basically had these morgues, but they weren't necessarily like a full-blown morgue. It's like a mini version of it. So he said in this scenario, they could accommodate a couple bodies. And the way he said it was like a couple as in like one or two.
Yeah.
And you think of thousands and thousands of people are on these boats. People die on cruise ships all the time. Most of the time it is of natural causes. A lot of old people travel on cruise ships. You had mentioned old people actually like often live from cruise ship to cruise ship because it's cheaper than like retirement homes or senior living homes. So they told him, he said he was instructed that if there are multiple bodies that the morgue cannot accommodate, they were told to get creative. And he said getting creative meant that we had to put them in the walk-in freezer. He says, what else is in the walk-in freezer? All
Yeah,
of the food that
food.
you're eating. And I was like,
They're going in to like get this stuff to make a salad.
Just
And they're
not
like,
chicken.
oh,
Move,
Sally's
Frank.
over there. It's fine. It's
just
fine.
slide him over.
Sorry.
It's fine.
God.
So I thought that was very interesting because it's a thing that you're not necessarily thinking of. There's a medic, there's nurses, everything on board. But when people die, it's not like they're announcing like, hey, Sally died or Frank died. We're going to go throw him in the morgue. It's just one of those things that's not talked about.
It's
Yeah.
weird that if you had a loved one who died on a ship and then they brought the body back and they were like, well, where did you store it? It's like next to the chicken. Like I hope you kept Jimmy's body. And it's like Jimmy was safe. He was right next to all the frozen potatoes and the chicken. Like he's well kept with the things that our people eat.
And you know what? You think about it. If he's put in a body bag and he's zipped up or she
It's
is
just
zipped
like
up.
all the other food that
Right.
don't touch.
And he's not like he's frozen. It's not like he's rotting and touching the lettuce and stuff like that. So it's fine.
As
Like
long as he doesn't touch the lettuce, we're good.
don't
That's
contaminate my
sacred. No more E.
salad.
coli lettuce outbreaks. We don't need that shit.
I only
literally.
eat plants, okay?
Yeah.
So another one moving away from food is overflowing toilets are not uncommon.
I heard
So
that.
their plumbing is kind of like an airplane where it does like that suction system is what
I
they called
hate
it. It has
that.
a proper name. I
Gives
didn't
me
write down the proper name.
anxiety.
But they scary. Like when
Yeah.
you push it, like when I'm on a flight, I go to push it. I'm like
Yeah, like,
afraid.
I'm
Like, do I
always-
do it with the
yeah.
toilet seat down or the toilet seat up? I'm always afraid.
And I
like,
don't want
which
to
one
touch
you
it,
do.
but I'm always wearing something stupid and
Like
flowy. and I'm
flowy,
afraid
yeah.
that,
You're
it's
gonna get sucked in. So apparently the systems are very fragile. Like on a plane, it says don't dump certain
Yeah.
types of things. It gets clogged very easily. So in the story that I was reading, it was saying things like a tampon or a condom could block up just one, and it would block up like the floors below you.
Yeah.
And they would essentially have to go in and like go through the pipes to take it out.
Meanwhile,
So-
they got motherfuckers putting flip flops down the toilet.
Exactly. So they say a lot of these toilet congestions happen because people don't want to take things with them off of the boat because
Then
you're
just
supposed to
leave
like
it.
clear
Put
the
it in
cabin.
the trash can.
It's just like a hotel. Like whatever you leave behind, they're gonna clean it and
They're
throw
like
away.
they're
Why
literally
flush it?
flushing t-shirts.
Yeah,
like was
t-shirts,
that Old
flip-flops.
Navy flag t-shirt so hideous, which they are, that you had to fucking put it like just donate it.
You shouldn't have bought it.
Yeah,
Just leave it
What I
behind.
think it is because most people, you fly to the port. Like for most cruises are like on the coast, so you have to fly. So people, what they're saying is like people don't want to take it with them, as in they're going to fly somewhere and they don't have room in their luggage, so they flush
So you
things
leave
down
it
the toilet.
behind.
I know, but
It's
we
not
have
a
common
goldfish.
sense. We have common sense.
It's not a dead goldfish.
The toilet is not for your flip flops or your Old Navy ugly shirt. Okay, folks, don't do it. So what else do I have? Oh, fires and explosions are also. This
love
one,
those.
this said it was common. I don't think that they're really common. I just think they can happen, which a fire and explosion can happen.
There's probably a
anywhere.
few people smoking a joint. If I don't know if that's legal yet on cruise ships, but they would have a lighter and maybe they
International
just light a
waters.
curtain on fire or something. I don't know.
Well,
and then
again, back to the poop cruise story that I'm going to tell. The engine room had a fire because they weren't upkeeping the generators.
oh, like maintenance issues.
Yeah, maintenance issues.
What else do I have? Oh, attacks from real life pirates.
Oh,
which
yeah.
pirates
I
are
could see that
rad.
happening.
Where's the rum going?
But like you see these guys with a little like, which I don't even understand.
don't
how
think
happens.
this is real.
No, it's real. There's many stories of it, of these guys like pirates with freaking machine guns.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, it's
Well,
not like
Yeah,
like
they're
eye
not
patch.
swinging in.
They should
Johnny
change
Depp
the
isn't
name.
swinging in.
They should have an updated
with
name
his
to like
eyeliner.
But that's what a pirate
Pirates
is.
or something like.
Modern day pirate
Modern-day
pirate
pirates.
attacks. So you see these massive cruise ships, and for me, I'm like, first of all, how does this happen? Because how do they get? Is nobody paying attention? Like, is there no one sitting on the what do you call the where the captain
Where they
is?
can see on the radar if there's any, the captain's deck.
I think the cockpit, but I think that's
that's the plane. What do you call it?
it's called like headquarters or
No, it
main
has a
motherfucking
name.
quarter.
Cameron?
Captain's
Dark
quarters.
Lord.
Captain's quarters.
Captain's quarters.
No, that's where he sleeps. Fuck.
where he
I
sleeps.
could just
not a
look it up,
cockpit?
but it's not really
the
relevant.
bridge.
the bridge.
The bridge.
I have
That's a
Starboard.
That's a
spaceship,
spaceship.
usually.
Whatever. Wherever the
The Hosack.
wherever the important people are that drive the boat are
Yeah.
not
Do they
paying-
drive it or do they?
The captain's room. Let's just call it that because
We're
don't know
not
what the fuck we're talking
sailors
about.
or boatists. We know nothing about boats.
Boatist is not a word.
Boatists. It's a boat person.
No, it's a boater. Not a boner, a boater.
We're just showing how much we know nothing about nothing.
a sports.
Okay, wait, I'm going to continue my list. Whatever. So wherever the important people are that are driving the boat, whatever they do, nobody's watching for pirates. Like I
They
feel like
should
there's-
be.
there's someone should have
Maybe
that
they
job.
sneak up in the middle of the night.
No, because they always have that radar thing. Because when I was watching Deadliest
have the
Catch and
beep,
like they had those
beep,
little
beep.
crab
It's
ships,
true. Beep.
they could always see when.
Maybe their boat's so small it's not picking up on.
But then if the boat is this boat in this picture looked very small, how do they get on the giant cruise ship?
They
And how
jump.
does-
they tell them to put the ladder down, or they're going to
Jetpacks.
shoot the boat.
If they're modern day pirates, they have jetpacks. They just fucking ricochet their ass across the way.
I feel like
Hello, come to take your t-shirts.
Yeah, can I have
Before
your
you
old
flush
Navy
them.
tee?
Yeah.
Do
toilet.
not flush those. That is gold to us in our country. Wherever the fuck they're from. We don't know because I didn't know they were real until today.
there are real pirates.
God,
so if you're
damn
unfortunate
it.
or fortunate enough to experience real pirates, it could happen.
To experience real pirates is the ultimate delicacy of a cruise.
Also, I already said fires. Nearly 300 people have gone overboard on cruises and ferries since 2000.
Me. That would be me.
Like, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
I would just catapult my thick ass off the bridge and be like, let's see what happens, guys.
We're calling it the bridge now.
Yeah, the Starborn.
I can also picture
Whatever
us
it's-
like up on the deck, and Ashley's like, "Take a picture of me sitting on this rail."
And then her
No,
float
I would
just
try to be
gets
doing.
caught.
I would do like a stripper move where I'd have my leg around, like I'm a ballerina but a hoe, and then I just fly off. Maybe a pirate would like come up and
Catch
save
you?
me. Be like,
That-
no, I could use that ass for money.
That would be.
No, you're being human trafficked.
Well, you never know.
This sounds
That's
like
pirate
your
booty.
cruise-
Pirate booty.
Oh my God.
Isn't that? It's modern day. It's not gold
It's
anymore. It's
modern
pirate
day
booty.
pirate booty. It
I
all-
worked hard on it. They would
God.
appreciate it.
You guys are
Someone's
learning
got to.
so much. I hope you're
Jesus.
excited that you're learning so much. Okay,
We're
I know.
experts.
Well, I'm going to wrap my list up very quickly. So, bed bugs and other pests. A lot of people.
Bed bugs and beyond.
Bed bugs.
That's the
and
gift shop.
beyond. Where you get your ugly shit.
Yeah,
and
the
flip
pillows
flops.
come with an extra feature. Bugs.
Oh,
And you can get a toilet brush to fucking shove that shit down the way.
I want to go on
some
your
wet
cruise
wipes.
ship.
what?
I want to go on your
What would your
cruise
cruise
ship.
ship name? Because you know how boats have names. What
Oh.
would your name of your boat be?
The USS, is that, they don't call them the USS, right? For a cruise ship. But mine's going to be the
Yeah.
USS.
They don't call them that, but I'm going to
But
call
I'm
mine
gonna, yeah,
that
because I
anyways.
do what I want. I don't know. You guys go first. I'm thinking.
Ooh, mine would be Thick Boy Billy. But it's a girl because girls like
Also can be named Billy.
It would have to be a girl because they all name of girls, right? Like,
Oh, yes,
it's all-
that's true.
Thick boy Billy would not take shit from pirates, but they're homies.
AJ?
You first.
I'm just going to say the
literally cannot
USS
think of-
Vamp because I'm not creative and I just want fangs on my
Boo.
boat. And I could be Captain Vamp and then it's just-
Captain Van, she doesn't know where she rides the ship. She doesn't drive. She doesn't know where she drives it, but she's
I don't know
the
how to
captain.
drive. I don't know where my steering wheel is.
No,
But come on my cruise ship.
but she has fangs.
Yeah.
That's all that
And
matters.
you get the little plastic fangs when you
You're gonna be the one that crashes
and
into a
you
fucking
only
whale.
eat lettuce with the dead guy next
Yeah.
to it.
Nice.
Sounds like a great time to me. I would pay for that. Do you have a name?
I don't.
Okay, we'll come
sorry.
back to you later.
Son of a bee.
Okay,
Just
so
thinking about everything she just said.
a couple other
Said a
facts.
lot.
I already said the pirate thing. There's lots of other things besides. So we basically looked up like cruise ship murders, but there's a lot of other things like sexual assault, theft.
Sounds like my neighborhood.
In one article, it was they put in parentheses brawls, and I don't know why it was in parentheses.
a brawl.
yeah.
Like just fights because people drink a lot of alcohol, and alcohol is included in your fee. So it's like basically bottomless, isn't it?
Some
Bottomless
places,
brawls.
Some places are.
Bottomless brawls. I guess you pay for depending on what kind of ticket you get, right?
I don't
or
know,
package that you get.
It might be a different package. I think it also depends on which cruise line you go with.
What
because
type of
some,
things?
You only get the food and then you have to pay extra for drinks and
Oh, okay.
added stuff.
So my next two things are going to lead into your
My shit.
story. So on average, a cruise ship produces between 140,000 to 210,000 gallons of sewage waste per week.
Yeah, dog.
Per week. So if you're on like one
Per
of the
boat.
14-day cruises, like that's a lot of poop on
No
a boat.
shit. Literally.
And then most cruise ships pollute the environment. Actually, almost all of them
And
pollute the
now I'm going
environment.
to talk about polluting, not to be confused with pirate looting. So basically, because I'm such an advocate for, I just hit my chin. Basically, because I'm an advocate
hitting my
for marine life and people not fucking with things, and also the discovery of marine life that we don't know about, I went deep into the murder of innocent fish and things, plus species that shouldn't be fucking around, but cruise ships are making them fuck around and ruining things. So basically, cruises pollute via oil, plastic waste and it affects the resilience of the ecosystem. But what does that really mean? So essentially, cruise ships and most barges and everything, they use ballast water, which is something that kind of, it levels out the way that they are able to float. So when they have a ton of shit, they can release it, and then vice versa. Like they
level the poop water
it
levels.
essentially makes it float. Like it helps with the buoyancy, and it helps with all of that shit. It's stabilizing essentially. So what happens is the water contains like bacteria, microbe, they have cysts, they have weird little bacteria things that aren't supposed to be in that area.
So when stagnant water, right? It just creates
It's
stagnant
it's just
water
sitting
with
inside
things
this.
that effectively, when they're released into the water, they shouldn't fucking be there. So one of the things that it does into the environment is it creates these ecosystem, hybridizations. And so a lot of like the weird kind
like
of
mutant fish.
kind of mutant, but it can have a mutation effect, but also it's organisms that shouldn't be able to thrive in that water. And what that does is it affects the way that fishermen are able to work. It affects the actual fish that are in that area. Because now everyone's trying to eat the same shit. And
With all these foreign
now you
bodies
have an
that shouldn't
added
be in
foreign
there.
body.
Yeah.
So some of the things that, wow, this microphone. Specifically in Scandinavia, there was a lot of this going on. There was the round goby, which was impacting commercial fishing. And then there was the comb jellyfish, which invaded the Baltic Sea. And then there was a lot of like weird things that I've never heard of. There was like a walnut jellyfish that looked like a walnut, and that was affecting.
So is it like causing certain things to thrive that shouldn't be thrive in certain
it's causing
environments?
certain species because it's in that environment to either die off, or those are now attacking
Or becoming
it, or those-
invasive.
Yep.
So
and
got
that's and that's also affecting the economy, because now you have fishermen going out and finding like half-eaten fish
Yeah.
from something they've never heard of.
Yeah.
Like there was this account where I forget what they're called, but they look like eels and their whole mouth is all teeth. And what was happening is in the water, they were biting fish and just killing them. So when the fishermen were coming and getting the fish, they'd have these giant, it looked like hickeys essentially, but they're all teeth marks. So they had to find ways to now reverse purify the water so that they could find something that affects those but doesn't affect the other fish.
Yeah.
So it's this whole thing where there's constantly all of these barges, there's cruises that are dumping waste, they're dumping bile, they're dumping this water, which is effectively helping the cruise stay afloat, but it's actually destroying the ecosystem.
Which is like, you think that they would either figure out some sort of filtration system to like filter the water before it gets released,
They don't have
or
the time
clean
for
the
that.
water.
Yeah.
Like clean that water. I know that's a problem.
And I can see most of the cruises being like, that costs money for me to do
Yeah.
that, so I'm not going to do it unless you put a law in place that I have to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Until it gets bad enough where people are like, no, you need to stop this.
And it also carries disease because now you're taking foreign bodies, and you're taking foreign, microbial objects and living things, and now you're plopping it into this new, and like it's essentially how diseases spread now and viruses. It's like you take a foreign thing, plop
Put it
in,
where it shouldn't
you
be.
don't know how it's going to react because the bodies don't know how to react to that,
Or how to
until they're
handle it or
exposed.
fight it off. Yeah.
So anyways, me being a lover of whales and smaller fish too, I would just like to say that we should just take less cruises.
Well, I don't think that, I think that the idea of a cruise is a great idea. I think that offers an experience for people all over the world to go to places that would never be able to go to for a decent price.
Yeah,
Because like we were saying,
Want to go to Mykonos? Fuck yeah. Take
and
a
then
boat.
along the way, you're going to stop at all these places and get to experience all of that. The thing is, it's not about the cruise ship experience in general. It's about the protocol and how they handle things. So it's like, people are paying a lot of money to be per person. It's usually thousands of dollars to be on a cruise. So that's a lot of money to like maybe just reevaluate how your spending is done and don't be so fucking greedy.
buy some
and
sweet couches.
take care of the
new booth,
environment.
and some, I don't know, hair extensions.
See, here's the
According
problem.
to my list.
The main problem is, so say that this process continues to happen and continues to happen, then our oceans get ruined, our wildlife, animals are affected, our ecosystem is affected, and things get to the point where maybe the oceans they're not a safe place anymore to travel through, So it's like, how about we nip this in the butt now to make it safer and
in the future,
more environmentally friendly.
If everything becomes the Bermuda Triangle and we got sucked down.
I mean, that would be cool. I'm not going on a cruise anyway, so I'll be fine. AJ.
You couldn't actually pay me to go on. Like, not even if it was free. If someone was like, we'll pay you money to go on this, I'd be like, fuck no.
I am really fascinated with the Bermuda Triangle, and I think maybe that's a whole nother episode in itself.
Yeah.
But I would love to go on some sort of adventure that got me not necessarily in it, but like close
the edge.
to
Close
it.
by.
Because I don't want to
We'll go
like,
make friends with a pirate.
pirate booty.
Get a radar in your
a
command
radar.
center.
Yeah, in my bridge.
Yep.
While I'm driving my
On
boat.
your bridge.
See, people drive a boat. They do. I've heard people say that. Driving the boat.
They steer it.
No, you drive it. Right?
You steer the ship.
Whatever. Okay, anyways.
Because there's no pedals.
Do you have anything else to say about the environment?
No, I was just going to say we should
it's
love...
a thingy like
We should
this.
fucking
No, they
love
have this.
fishes.
They have a-
That's all I'm gonna
Well, no,
say.
they have a
hands.
steering wheel, but for the power, don't
Your
they
gas-
go like up
yes.
and then down and
Yes.
up and down?
Yeah.
We've
You
never
go
done
up
that.
and
Faster,
down.
slower, faster, slower.
Spinny.
How do you
drive the boat.
stop it? Do you just not touch anything?
I think they have a button.
Stop.
I bet it's red and it just says stop. You have to flip up a little box.
Could you reverse it?
Cameron Dark Lord says you reverse engine, so you basically just go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
He's a pirate.
Because have you seen the big cruise ships crash into stuff?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god!
One crashed into a whale, which I'm pissed
Oh.
about. 70-foot long whale. Little guy, bless his heart.
Was he fine?
Little guy.
No, he died.
Oh, I just thought maybe
sad.
He was a thick boy in his prime. Now he's
Apparently
dead.
not thick enough.
I
Well, I guess
watched. I watched. I don't know if it was like Carnival Cruises. I don't know what it was, but you see them like you see the boat like it's gonna go into dock, but it's not slowing
I've
down.
seen those.
And
Those
it,
are
like,
fun.
But like the dock isn't just like what you imagine like a dock. Like docks there's restaurants.
Yeah,
there's like it's like a little
it's a little
community.
port.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the port. And it just goes like through it. You see people running away, and I'm like,
Crab Shack, gone. Gift
That-
shop, gone.
that-
Harley Davidson shop gone.
yeah.
that bridge operator
motherfuckers.
is fired. He does not
Yeah.
know, or she. That would be
That would
me.
be me. No, I was going to say, why do you think I don't have a car? One, because it's like silly in LA, but two, can't drive for shit. I would
Oh,
hit
man.
everything.
We're never gonna have our own cruise ship company, and if we ever do, we have to
Big
erase
boy
evidence
Billy
of
is
this
going to live.
video.
I know it.
You'll never see this video.
I'll
I'll
never
get,
see
well,
this
what if we
video.
had yachts?
And we could play yacht
Because there are
rock on our
yachts
yachts.
that do the same. Yes, we will.
Do our
damn
P
it.
Diddy boat dance.
Yeah.
Yacht, to me, a
Steely
yacht
Dan would
is
be playing. We'd have a fresh Mai Tai, and someone would be driving. Not us, because Lord knows we can't.
Dark
We
Lord
can hire
drive.
someone. Or
No.
Dark Lord.
Or yeah.
I don't trust him.
No one has any faith in you to drive our
We'd have a
bridge.
nice bearded man with a polo shirt from Tommy Bahama saying, yes, honey, we're going to make it to Mykonos. You're going to buy some Greek salads and have a grand old
And
time.
some
Just don't flush your
sandals.
flip-flops.
Some gladiator sandals.
Yep.
Get some beautiful
Tans.
photos.
Some nice men who don't speak English, but they tell us where the pirates are so we don't die. And we'd be back by
sounds-
dinner.
I would go on that yacht. The yacht idea is like a sensible. I know yachts are big, but it's more of a sensible idea of what I feel comfortable with.
Yeah, it's just we're poor. So fuck that dream.
I mean, hey, dreams. It's a dream for a reason
Yeah.
because you make it a reality.
Oh, we'll make it. It'll happen.
We'll have our own. Get spooky
I have
yacht.
stepped foot on a yacht, if that makes me of higher tier to the
Ooh.
pirates to, have me contribute my booty.
I've
or
only been
money.
on a parked yacht,
Yeah, that's
like
same,
docked
same.
yacht, not like in
Like
the
someone
ocean.
was literally like, "This is my yacht," and I jumped on. I was
docked
like, "This is cool," and then I like scurried away.
You're like, we're not moving, right? We're staying.
yeah,
still.
no, I didn't
Okay,
like
good.
the idea of stepping from the dock to the yacht. The in
little-
between,
the
I
little
fucking
3
hated that
inches.
shit. Yeah, that sucked. I didn't like it.
Is it like when you're a kid going on the escalator for the
Yeah,
first time?
fuck
And
Just
that.
you don't want to lift either foot to like commit. You just are between the two.
not a
This is a
fan.
total tangent, but have you guys ever had anything sucked into an escalator?
No.
Yeah,
Like
my
a
dreams.
shoe?
My tears.
Besides your dreams, when I was little, I had a shoe like that got stuck, and yeah, it was scary.
That is scary.
I've had
how people
my,
die.
the side thing
Yeah.
that moves with it. I've had my sleeve get caught for some reason underneath that. And so when I go to get off, it's
Yeah.
like, no.
You're
It's
like, oh,
wrapping you
We're
back
not done
around.
with this ride. The ride called life.
Or you see the dumb people that hold on to the other end,
And then it
they're
hits
just,
the
and then you're just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
they're
that was a tangent. Has
Sorry.
nothing. I'm sure there's escalators on boats. So right, isn't there escalators on boats?
There's
Like the fancy ones. Where there's-
elevators and stairs.
Oh, okay. There's not. but
There's
whatever.
at least the one I went on.
Better be
there
ramps.
wasn't any.
Ow.
knocking our set down.
That was my angst kick. Better be ramps, bitch.
Okay, so for next stories, do you want to go next? Or you want me to go next?
Death.
Death.
Or
death,
poop,
death,
poop, poop,
death,
poop.
death,
Well, we did
death,
talk
death,
about all the
death,
poop and stuff, so I don't know if I should talk
Yeah, you
about
should-
the poop.
Yeah, we should
cruise,
finish
but
the job.
We
Let's-
were
let's
on poop
finish
talk.
Let's flush this.
Thank you for tuning into Poop Talk.
On a boat
Sponsored
edition.
by Squatty Potty.
We wish. Oh,
So my story, one of my stories comes from 2013, and I actually remember hearing about this because it was a Carnival cruise that had an engine room fire because one of the generators, like every time they would dock, they'd be like, okay, we need to like do maintenance and like make sure
checklist.
everything's
Yeah.
okay. They just kept putting it off. No, we'll do it next week. We'll do it next week. We'll do it next week. So there was a fire in the generator, kind of like exploded, and there was a fire, which then messed with the electricity. So there was no electricity. They were
This
stranded.
isn't the ocean still.
Yeah, they're in the ocean. So they were stranded. They didn't have electricity. Because of that, the toilets were all messed up. So they literally gave everyone like a box with like hazardous waste bags, and you had to poop in the boxes and pee in the boxes.
And like
That
tie it
reminds me
up.
of that show, Out of
Yeah.
the Box. Out of the box. Out of the box.
I don't know what that show
I
is.
don't know what that was.
But I
Oh,
like the theme.
man. Am I the only 90s child? Fuck.
Did
Keep
they,
going.
Did they poop out of that box?
No, they got in the box and
Oh,
it
well,
became
that's-
magic. I'm just thinking.
You don't want to go into the poop box.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go in this box. But so like you had your individual boxes, but then in the hallways they had all these bigger boxes that you had to like put your bag of stuff in. So they were out there, I think,
That
for
smelled good, probably.
It's not good at all. They were drifting for 4 days before they were able to be towed.
just drifting and shitting in boxes.
Which you can actually see photos online where like, because people weren't sleeping in their rooms anymore. They brought beds out to like hallways and up on the decks, and they had
Wait, why weren't
draped
they in
sheets.
rooms?
I think just because of the bathrooms were like overflowing and stuff.
got
So I
it, got
think
it.
like they were saying that the carpet was just like
coated in shit.
coated in
imagine?
sewage and like raw sewage. And like it's
Ew.
they
Not
said
cooked,
that
raw.
when they finally
Poo.
towed the boat in, you could smell the boat from
It's like
the
New
dock
Jersey.
because of how bad it smelled, which is pretty awful.
Oh my God. I was
That
thinking
could
you were going to
be-
say like 48 hours later,
Nope,
they
that
were
was
rescued.
4 days stranded before they could get towed, and then once they got towed, like that takes like a little bit of time. I don't know how long that one took. And then
Blech.
also they were saying, because apparently I didn't know this, because when you buy a ticket, there's always like
the
even
fine
if you
print?
buy a ticket to something, they always have stuff on it that says like like the non-refundable blah 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 blah, and like if anything happens,
They're
not
not
your fault.
liable.
yeah, you're not liable.
Right.
So basically, like when you buy a cruise ship ticket, it says that the makes no guarantee for safe passage, a seaworthy vessel, adequate and wholesome food, and sanitary/safe living conditions. So basically, when
I
you
love
buy,
wholesome food. What the fuck?
Not going to get it on this boat.
Yeah,
The
this
shit
is-
and drift.
This is the one where
Shit.
the lady's daughter was having Skittles for breakfast because there wasn't any food because like
It's all rotten.
refrigerators.
Yeah.
You have no electricity, you have no refrigerator.
So was
you have
this like
bad
at the
food.
beginning of the cruise or?
I think it was in the middle-ish.
Sucks.
But yeah, since they put that in your contract, they were saying that it would be hard for anyone
To sue.
to sue
Yeah.
and get anything back. I guess after this happened, Carnival, because
No one's going to go on your
Carnival
cruises
is
after that.
Yeah, no, this is really bad publicity. Like newspapers reporting it as the poop cruise, and like
funny, though.
there's a reason why like people make fun of Carnival cruises all the time because they have like a really bad history.
Carnival cakes though are delicious.
Carnival
Yeah, those
cakes
are good.
those are the
Those
ice
are
cream
very
ones,
good.
right?
Yeah, man.
Yummy.
I trust them in that respect.
So after this, they had a Carnival put into place a 110% money back guarantee.
Oh, so if
So
your
you get
boat is full of
10%
poop,
If your boat is, but I mean, it doesn't make up for the fact that
No.
like people were saying that they had PTSD after, and they were just like it emotionally
I would have
bruised them.
PTSD.
I
Shit
guess
in
a
a
group of them
box?
got together to try to sue, and they did get like a certain amount back, but per person, I think it was only $3,000 each.
Yeah, it's like what they would have
So
paid.
It's probably
Yeah.
close to like what they paid anyways.
At least they got their money back. But can you imagine like having to go through all of that for a refund?
Yeah.
Like at a
and
certain
like
point,
they had to
you're
bring
like,
them to court, so that means they had to pay for like
Lawyers.
lawyers and stuff. So you
yeah.
probably paying the lawyers, you probably took a big
a big chunk.
of
They
that
would have gotten a
3,000.
lot more. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So it's like you coming out even at that point.
You're
It's a big old dump on the law, so to speak.
dump on a boat in a
Dump on
a
box.
boat.
in a
God, I
bag,
would appreciate a toilet so much more if I had to shit in a box on a boat for
and tie
like
it in
4
a bag
days.
and then go put it in another
That
bigger
could
box
be a song.
full of more poop
Sitting
bags.
on the dock of the bay, shitting in the
My
box if
life
I may.
away.
Smelling kind of rank, I must say. What a good motherfucking day. Getting off, I hope I do pray. I have no more words to.
I was like, damn, that was good.
Wow, that was good.
I download that on iTunes.
God, I'm gonna
record
roll
it
today. I'm gonna roll like a
Record
Sammy.
it.
Damn. I'm gonna lobster roll. Shit. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with my zingers.
For now.
Fucking done.
For
Give
now.
her a few moments. So yeah, poop cruise. Don't go on a Carnival cruise.
I would have to agree. Most of the horror stories that I saw were Carnival Cruise
Yeah.
related, and I feel like they're like the Walmart of
You love
retail
Walmart,
shopping.
though.
I
Fuck
do
you.
love Walmart. I do love Walmart. It has all of your essential needs, but on
that
the
good
scale
frosting.
of like.
But at the same time, when you buy something where you know what you're getting, right? Like
Yeah.
you pay, it's the same.
Not
like
at
you
Walmart.
you get what you pay for type thing. So like
Exactly.
if you're going on a Carnival cruise, like I think in the back of your head, you kind of have to know that you might end up on a poop cruise.
Right.
You might go overboard and no one will know. Cause I'm pretty sure they also said Carnival's like one of the ones where they don't have the detection thing. So like, if you go overboard, cause some of the cruises
what?
have
It's
like,
the AliExpress of
Yeah, they
cruises.
have
like
the
infrared
sensors,
that
yeah.
sensor. So if something breaks the
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 laser.
laser grid or whatever, an alarm will go off. But I think there's like a few that, because it costs money to put that on every one of their ships and they're not legally required to, they don't do it.
So it's like
And
an
I think I read a
upgrade.
couple of stories where like someone went overboard, but like they didn't realize it until like the next day.
That happens a lot. I read a lot of stories about that. And you would think that would be a standard. Like people commit suicide, people fall. One of the things that I briefly read was this woman goes overboard and the husband went to bed and didn't realize that she was missing until the next day. So obviously she either got sucked under, she's gone. Like the boat has gone so far, they're never going to find her.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they said that she was served 19 alcoholic beverages.
Oh, daddy.
In that day. So I don't know if she started drinking right when she woke up. Not that it matters, but 19.
That's crazy.
Wow. You think that they would like cut you off at some point.
But you think also if it's a whole day, you figure like 12 hours, if you started drinking when you got up, you might not be belligerent. Like you might be able to handle your alcohol and you're not having that much alcohol in those drinks. They're usually pretty.
That's like 6 drinks a meal.
But that's a lot of alcohol. So you figure she
lot
didn't
of
mean
pissing,
to. She just
too.
fell overboard. It was an accident. She
I
was like
wonder if
leaning
they like
against
How
it.
did
water
she
down
even-
their drinks, like on purpose,
I mean,
so
but
that you
still
don't get overly drunk.
19, you figure even if it's like a cocktail that has like a shot of alcohol in it, that's 19 shots. Like that for me would kill me. I would be dead. She got way too many shots.
She did not have her passport.
Not for the ocean.
Nope.
And most
But
people
she was going to America.
most people that fall overboard immediately get sucked under the boat because they're falling so close to the boat.
Yeah.
The propellers suck them under, or they get eaten and they die. There's most people that go overboard don't come. They don't get them.
It's very hard.
It's very rare.
It's very hard. It's very rare. Yeah, because I think there was. What did I say? Oh my god.
I'm just singing the song in my head. Keep going.
Yeah, there was one that I read where a man fell overboard and they were able to like stop the ship and they got out to search for him pretty quick, but he was still like pretty far underneath the ship.
Why don't they just
Like-
put a big net for shit's sake? Like a 9-foot net around the whole thing. It's like a trampoline. Like
That would
catch
be
those
smart.
fucking fish.
Catch those.
Why doesn't
fucking
someone
humans.
hire me to make this net? I have so much expertise.
it
Clearly,
seems-
I know where the
seems-
captain
Well,
is.
the ship
very
is
smart.
already so big. Can you
Well-
imagine like this massive ship and
could,
then
like-
now
it
a
could-
A 9
It
foot.
could,
nine
well, no, it
foot-
could like come back up. Like it could be like a.
Oh, like when they're out in the ocean, it's like
yeah,
catch.
it could work. You
And
guys,
if you're like trying to kill yourself, you'll just jump off of the net.
I'm no genius,
But if
but I
it's an
have some
accident-
ideas. Hello,
That's a genius idea. I mean,
Ashley's available.
Carnival Cruises. Call
Carnival
her.
Cruises.
Call me 866.
DM
what the
her.
fuck?
We'll put her Instagram name
Right
underneath her. You can DM
Yeah,
her.
man.
For all
But don't
of your,
DM me because I don't answer them. But you could try. Email's great.
If Carnival slid
Cruises,
into your DMs, you wouldn't answer.
so like, hey, we want to hire you to make our
Hey,
boat net.
we want to hire you to make our boat net, and we want some feet pics.
oh, for 6 figures, I would, sweetie.
See?
Yeah, do it.
Nets and toes, nets and toes. I'm gonna
Put
catch
your
these
toes
feet.
in the net.
Catch these feet.
Catch these feet.
Not really. They're fat.
Catch these feet outside.
Catch me outside.
Okay, should I do mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Please.
mine,
That's what she said.
we said that this was cruise ship deaths, and then, well, I guess it wasn't really death stories, but mine is gonna wrap
I got
it
a
up.
death.
You had a death.
Just
that's
holding
true.
it for rancid.
for
Rancid?
holding it for rancid, not for ransom. It's different. It's a little different.
I'm just gonna leave.
Oh my goodness.
She's got her passports and her shots and her
It's
rancid.
like as soon as I become my New York self, I
words
lose.
just get messed up.
This needs to be closer to
No,
me.
I
What
think
do
we
you
need a little bit farther away.
Okay, so mine is a Utah man beats wife to death.
That was a segue.
I'm going to read, I wrote down like actual facts of the story. I'm going to read them because I don't want to mess it up because it's a doozy. So Kenneth and Christy Manzanares were supposed to be celebrating their 18th wedding anniversary on an Alaskan cruise with their family when the husband flew into a violent rage after she said she wanted a divorce. So they was like almost like a family reunion. Like some of her brothers were there, their kids were there, other relatives, and they all had like adjoining rooms. So they were all staying in rooms next to each other. So the couple began arguing in their cabin around 9 p.m. in front of their daughter, who was 22 years old. The fight was about Kenneth's behavior, police said. Christy told her husband she wanted a divorce and told him to get off in Juneau and then go back to Utah. So the next port, she was like, I want a
Fucked up.
divorce.
There's nothing in Juneau, Alaska.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's
It
getting
does,
a divorce.
though. That's the
Go
biggest
home.
bitch slap of all things. Juneau, Alaska. What are you, Sarah Palin? Shit.
Well, the guy was an asshole, so maybe he deserved to go to Juneau, Alaska,
Yeah.
and be stuck there. So the children were ushered into a relative's adjoining cabin, but after hearing screams, they tried to re-enter the room. Kenneth told the kids, "Don't come in here." The kids ran back into the room to the balcony connecting the rooms, and they saw Kenneth straddling his wife and pummeling her with closed fists. So all of the rooms where, I mean, you figure there's balconies, you just go and you can see, and clearly he's not very smart. What are you about to laugh about?
I don't know. I just feel like she's gonna go overboard or something. Or
We're getting there.
Why are you laughing about that?
because
Okay.
I can just picture it and then my net being on the saber.
Well, listen, your net wasn't there. So Kenneth
yet.
then tried dragging his battered wife's body towards the balcony, but was stopped by one of Christy's, the wife's, brothers, who grabbed her ankles and pulled her back into the cabin. So could you imagine?
That's really scary.
Her brother sees his brother-in-law trying to throw his sister over the balcony after he basically beat her to death, and he grabs her by the ankles, drags her back in. So when Kenneth was asked what happened, he said his wife was ridiculing him, and he said that she wouldn't stop laughing at him.
That'd be me.
You're laughing through the story.
I cannot go
He's
to
probably
cruise.
watching right now and he's pissed. Kenneth
No,
is
Kenneth
Well,
is
don't
in
marry
jail, I
me.
think.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Maybe-
But he may be, clearly, they could still have internet in jail, so he might be able to watch. So when medical personnel came into the room, they discovered Christy with a head wound and blood spatter all over the room. Christy died of blunt force trauma to the head and face. Kenneth was cuffed and detained. So this is where it takes kind of an interesting twist. So one woman recalled seeing one of the couple's daughters streaking in immediate horror after the horrible killing, because obviously the kids saw it and they're all screaming, running down the hallways to go get help. So some of the passengers, Some of the passengers initially thought that the panic was staged because the cruise liner had been performing a murder mystery theater production at the time of the killing. So it was a murder mystery
Theatrics.
theater night on the boat as this man is brutally murdering his wife in their cabin.
People are just standing
just
by,
some
watching,
McKamey
eating their
Manor shit.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
oh
like,
man,
wow.
Blood
this
force
is
trauma.
so great.
That's nice
Look
blood.
at that blood. How did they get
It's
those
so
special
real.
effects? So Kenneth pled guilty and will be sentenced on May 28th in a federal court. His maximum sentence is life in prison and up to $250,000 in a fine or both. And I'm like, what? Like, just lock him up forever.
Yeah.
And why, like, to me, I think the thing that is the most frightening is this took a while to happen. So regardless of like whether there was a murder mystery theater going on, if a kid goes to like the staff or security, you think these boats are huge. So although you want to hope that you're safe and you want to hope that if something bad happens, you can pick up the phone and call someone, or you can go run down the hall and ask for security, it's like there's no safety. And he was able to to beat someone to death. Like, it sounds like in movies we see it where people can just hit someone really hard for a
Break
couple
their
times
neck
and
in 2
Yeah.
seconds, they're
exactly, and
gone.
it happens really fast. But that takes a while, and for there to be a struggle, and then he's trying to drag the body, and like that's a lot.
That's a lot of chaos going on.
Yeah, and I understand the passengers being like, "Oh shit, this is just part of the whole like mystery theater thing that's going on." But for them not to be able to contact anyone to help,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and for them to go from arguing, hearing screaming, and immediately when they hear screaming, they're trying to get help, and they couldn't even get help. So I guess I wrote, the moral of the story is people are fucking nuts and don't go on a cruise. And
God damn.
that could happen anywhere. You don't have to be on a boat for that to happen.
That could be in like a hotel.
Right.
It could be in my
vacation.
neighborhood.
It could
Yeah,
literally
right
be
outside
anywhere.
your balcony.
Yeah,
Right
man.
out. Yeah, it could be
You
tossing
saw it
bodies
today.
out of your balcony. Yeah. So he was obviously caught, and that's another thing too. People commit these crazy crimes and murders, but you're on a boat.
You can't escape.
And unless you plan on jumping off, or you have a pirate that's going to come like help you escape, you're screwed. Like, you're going to be caught. The times that they do get away with it are often when someone goes overboard and there's no evidence. Like, the other person doesn't.
Oh, she drank too much and she fell overboard. I
Right.
had no idea what happened.
And chances are, if the family wasn't there and they were just on this cruise by themselves and it happened and he threw overboard, who knows if he might have gotten away with it and been like, oh, I don't know, she got off in Juneau, Alaska, and
You
I never
also
saw
have
her
to hope
again.
that they don't find the body, because if he had like beaten her to death and then threw her over, if they were able to recover the body, then it's like, well, how did she get all these bruises all over her? That didn't happen from her just
Right.
falling into the ocean.
Yeah, and they would have had like the register of who was on the cruise. So if they had DNA to know that it was Christy Manzaniers or whatever her name is, they would have known she was on the Alaskan cruise. And husband is a murderer. So I thought that was pretty crazy, mostly because of the family aspect of it. Obviously crazy that the crime happened, but the fact that the kids saw their mom being basically beaten to death, her brother saw her almost thrown overboard. Like could you imagine being that kid and that
That's
being
worse
your mom?
PTSD than pooping in a box,
Right?
I would say.
So
Never want to go on vacation again.
No,
not
I'm
on a
good.
boat, right?
Yeah.
I'm good. Well, I had a murder, and it's a quickie because everything that was cool, I couldn't find. I'm going to talk about George A. Smith. He was a savage young bloke, and he went on a cruise with his newlywed wife on July 4th, not in it, 2005. And they were having a good time. They were like stopping off and like dancing and all that. So it was like a good fucking trip. But they were newlyweds. And so they ended up meeting these people on July 4th, which was the night before shit went wrong. And apparently what the FBI have been saying is, because this has been like 9 years of them being like, what the fuck? The FBI said that these people overheard them talking about all of their wedding money that they had. So that was a thing where they're like, oh shit. So a passenger said that they heard a ruckus, a loud thud, and then silence. And they assumed that he just went overboard, but no one really actually knows what happened. But there was like a lot of blood, and there was like, so what they think is originally they thought Jennifer, the wife, had like, they got in an argument because they heard like a party or whatever, and she like flipped out. But now, like just now, they're figuring out that these guys had something to do with it. So it was more of like a robbery that went wrong, where they didn't actually want him to die. So they probably flung the body because they're like, oh shit, we hit him too hard.
But did they think that they brought their wedding money on the boat with them, or they were just,
Did they bring them?
Yeah.
oh well, that's stupid.
They literally, I think they were drunk out and they were talking about how they had all this money with them from their wedding.
well,
And, 'cause
don't
they
be
brought
dumb.
it- well, they
First
brought it
rule,
for
don't
the
be dumb.
trip,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, they're like, oh, we have all this money to
go
spend
to a foreign country. They have the the money, like cash.
to go buy
Yeah.
Cash
flip flops and Old Navy
Old Navy
t-shirts.
t-shirts with
Yeah.
Flush
So
them later,
moral of the
flush down the
story:
toilet.
don't get drunk and talk about all the money you have with foreign humans on a boat, and don't go on a boat.
Don't go
Well,
on
you
a
shouldn't do that anywhere. Like when you're vacationing somewhere, if you're somewhere that you don't know, the last thing you want to be doing is like, oh, I have so much
Yeah.
money in my back pocket right now.
That's why people wear those little
Fanny
the
packs?
fanny packs that you
That are,
flip
like,
on your
hidden?
waist under your shirt with your
Yeah.
valuables in it. You put your passport in it, and you put
Your
shots
shots?
and your cash in it, and you literally strap
go
it
to
in,
America?
And you go to America. No, actually, not in America. Usually, when you're leaving America,
I've never seen those in my life.
you haven't. On a plane when you travel internationally,
A belly pack?
it's like
No.
a travel.
No, it's like a- yeah.
security travel.
What if you're
pouch.
giant? Is it like out here?
It's
and you're just like,
extendable.
I think it's like a
guys.
belt. So you just
like a belt.
extend it. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
When we go
I'm not
somewhere
very worldly.
internationally, I'm gonna get you one of those
Yeah.
so you can put all.
I've
your
only been
goods
to
in it.
2 other places aside from America.
Next time when we go to Canada, I don't think you need it in Canada, but
No.
we'll get you one.
I keep
The
looking
moose
at that
might want your
light and
money.
going this way, and I'm like, I'm blind. And then I'm like,
but you look great on camera. Okay, so with all that tragic cruise ship stuff, so with that, we will transition into creepy treats. We have to go get our treats, so BRB. And we're back.
We're back.
Our creepy treats are ready
in
to
here.
go. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to close our eyes, and Ashley's going first.
I'm gonna feed my children.
Okay, so
Shut your eyes.
okay,
I'm
my eyes
gonna
are
unwrap
closed.
shit.
Let me move my microphone. Scared.
Oh wow.
This literally takes off your.
Yeah.
Why is it?
I think that's just the no.
Oh, shut
he's
up,
making
Dark
comments. I don't think
I
they're.
gotta feed you both at the same time.
Yeah.
Open.
Ow.
Open.
It's fruity. Oh, did I bite it?
I don't know. I haven't eaten this.
Am I gonna crack a tooth if I
Yeah.
bite it?
Yeah,
I will.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Is it like prune?
no?
Grape?
Dates?
I'm not
Pear.
really sure. Oh, one of them's grape.
Food candy.
It's like a hard candy.
Yeah.
Is it Japanese
like
candy?
black?
It's Japanese. It's called
Oh, I have-
Matsuya cider. Motherfuckers.
Oh, it's kind of like a bubbly.
It's getting bubbly.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
it makes you feel something. I don't know what. But
Mine
that's what
tastes
they
like apple.
told
Is
me.
mine apple?
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah, dog. Well, that was my fucking treat. Hope you enjoyed. You can spit it out at any time.
I'm gonna have to go on to the next thing because
You want
can
to
I have a pack of
save it for later. That was such a wimpy move on my
Asahi.
part.
Asahi, Japanese #1 beer.
Ooh.
Do you ever remember those commercials from the 90s?
I wasn't allowed to watch beer commercials when
It
I was
wasn't like
4 years old.
You turned into it. It was just a commercial that was on TV in the 90s. I wonder if that's
turned into it.
you tune into it.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna turn into a beer.
That's what Airheads did.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
No, Gushers. That was it.
Oh, that's
Skittles.
actually.
Also, they had that commercial where the person had.
Oh,
Skittles
that's
hated
all over
that.
their
gross.
faces.
I
Oh.
hate that commercial.
And then she's like, "Oh, let me eat one off your
"Let me
face.
eat your Skittle pimple."
Is
Disgusting.
it contagious?
You're gross. Okay, am I going next?
Sure.
Okay, so I made multiple of them, and I'm gonna have one
Ow.
as well because they're each different.
Are they
and
small?
Are they
ish.
mystery?
I don't know. They all look the same on the outside, so I don't know what's on.
God.
So just hold it in your mouth until I
Oh,
say
my watch vibrated. I thought it was
open.
something.
Open.
I have a small
Just
mouth.
hold it into your mouth until I put it all the way in your mouth.
Oh
Just put it all the way in your mouth.
I have salsa on it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get mine ready. Go.
Open your eyes and eat.
Use your words.
Mine has salsa on
I
it.
got the one with ranch.
I don't know what mine has, but I like it.
Is it really spicy? Tabasco. So I got.
That would be good because it's like
Mama
fruity.
like.
Oh, I think you got the green salsa.
I got salsa.
Mine has ranch. What was in the other one? Oh, this one is bitchin' sauce. So it's fruit roll-ups, and I made like little fruit roll-up dumplings with various sauces in them.
That's good.
I feel cheated.
Once again,
You can
sauces
try another
prevail.
one.
No, I'm good.
Here, put it back on if you don't want it.
Let's
was
see how
actually-
it tastes with this. Not ideal.
So I was kind of nice. I figured I'll be nice and I'll make the outside really nice. And the
inside was
inside was a
nice, too.
surprise. See,
Yours
but
was good because it's like
Tabasco and fruit roll-up sounds disgusting.
I like
but
it.
like
it's like
sweet and
spicy,
spicy.
like what you put when you put that stuff on your like watermelon and stuff. The
Oh,
fruit.
like the
I like
tahini
this
and the
game.
yeah, tahini
Yeah.
and stuff. I think it's like the same kind of.
Yours, AJ's had guacamole salsa in it, so I feel like you probably got. I should have given you the one that had. I guess they're all bad.
Not mine.
I think the mentioned sauce would be the next.
Okay, you want to try it? I'll try it. I don't have. See, they got all melty. I don't have a problem with. Oh. Nope.
Am I the
Thank
only one
you.
who finished the job?
No,
Yeah.
yours had the bitchin' sauce. That was the
Oh.
Tabasco.
That's why. Whatever I had, it was muy delicioso, as Dora the Explorer would say.
Wait, she ate the bitches?
She had the
Yeah.
bitchin' sauce. I just
Yeah, it was good.
I just
no, it's really good.
bit into Tabasco that shot down my throat,
That's what
and
happened
it's on
to me
fire.
last time with you when I bit
was
down
so
and
good.
mustard like went down my throat and I was like, what is this?
Well, that's what I get for trying to make you guys eat gross things. I get taste of my own medicine. So with that, that'll do it for what?
AJ,
Oh shit! I thought that was last. Sorry, just kidding.
with that, we're just gonna like not eat the best thing potentially that smells
Mine
delicious.
are really
Thanks.
nice.
She was like, no.
I thought I would. Okay, I'm sorry. Close my eyes are closed.
I'm gonna put my food shield
Wait,
on.
isn't Cameron having one too?
Yeah. Put
Yeah.
Put your helmet on.
Put your hat on. Put your face on.
Did my eyes? Sorry, I didn't know. I forgot that you hadn't gone yet.
I even made one for myself. That's how you know it's not bad.
I'm excited. It smelled. Yours smelled the best.
I like how Ashley's just sitting there so calmly.
I didn't know if everyone's eyes were closed.
our eyes are still closed,
I've
right?
literally been
Yeah.
like this, Leanna, the whole time.
What? Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
I'm gonna grab mine too.
Everyone's eyes closed.
Yeah, dog.
Okay, open wide. Wait, how am I supposed to eat?
Oh,
Oh, I see it. I'm grabbing this. That was yummy.
What is this?
that's
It's a waffle with peanut butter and
Oh
jelly.
my god.
But the jelly is the boysenberry from Knott's.
Oh no! I got it on my body.
That is, I think it's all over my face. What kind of peanut butter?
Smooth.
It's literally
Jif
all
or
over my
whatever.
face.
Normal kind. I don't
Stripper name.
I don't get crazy with my peanut butter.
That's the jam. You win.
I'm too
That's
nice. I can't do that to you guys. I'm like-
Listen. I just fed you a fruit roll up with avocado salsa in it, so you're gonna have to step up your game because that was not creepy. That was just delicious, and I appreciate you for that. So now
we're actually
that I'm
done.
not trying to cut you out of creepy treats, that'll do it for this episode of Let's Get Spooky. I'm Leanna Vamp.
I'm AJ.
Actually,
You have like jelly.
I know. I feel it.
It's so good. So you can watch all of our episodes at letsgetspooky.com. You can also listen on iTunes and Spotify as we're covered with peanut butter and jelly.
All in my
So
nose.
thanks for watching, Fiends, and don't forget to
Stay spooky.
That was real good.